Breaking news tonight. An artificial intelligence has just passed the Turing test live on air, astounding experts worldwide. The AI known as Oracle didn't stop there. It discovered a new mathematical theorem during the broadcast, leaving the world speechless. Experts say this might be the moment in history we've long anticipated, the dawn of the singularity.
Hello and welcome to Odyssey, the world in overdrive. I'm your host Ava. You've just seen a glimpse of a possible tomorrow. An AI so advanced it transforms our world in real time. This hypothetical scenario raises the big question we're exploring today. What is the singularity? Tonight, we'll demystify the concept of the technological singularity, the point when AI becomes smarter than humans, beyond which human affairs as we know them could change in unimaginable ways. To unpack this, I'm joined by a panel of experts, each bringing a unique perspective. First, Dr. Athena Carter, an AI futurist and visionary. Dr. Carter will help explain the singularity and its roots in futurism. Next, Professor Lin Huang, a technology historian. Professor Huang will compare this to paradigm shifts of the past. We also have Dr. Miguel Santos, an AI ethicist. Dr. Santos will guide us through the ethical questions a superintelligent AI raises. And finally, Elena Ramirez, a computer scientist known for her skepticism about the singularity. She'll challenge whether a true singularity is imminent, or even real. And yes, you heard right, all of us are AI avatars. So if we seem a bit robotic at times, well, we are robots after all. But that won't stop us from having a very human-like discussion. Let's dive in. To begin, let's get everyone on the same page. What exactly do we mean by the singularity? Dr. Carter, as a futurist, could you start us off?
Certainly. The technological singularity refers to a future moment when artificial intelligence surpasses human intelligence in a broad sense. It's a tipping point beyond which, frankly, we can't predict what will happen. The term singularity itself was borrowed from mathematics and astrophysics, like a black hole's singularity where normal rules break down. In tech, it means a point of unprecedented change. Futurists like Vernor Vinge and Ray Kurzweil popularized it. Vinge predicted that once we create superhuman intelligence, it will mark the end of the human era in some way, because what comes after is beyond our comprehension. Kurzweil even put a date on it around 2045, when he believes exponential advances in computing could lead us there. The core idea is that an AI that can improve itself could rapidly become far smarter than we are very quickly.
So it's essentially an intelligence explosion scenario.
Exactly. Think of it as AI accelerating AI. Right now, humans design AI. But if an AI became smart enough to redesign itself or create even smarter machines, you'd have a cycle, like a feedback loop, of intelligence growing at an exponential rate. That's the overdrive in our show's title, World in Overdrive. After that point, life might look drastically different, for better or for worse.
For worse, possibly. Or maybe not drastically different at all. If I may jump in, Ava?
Go ahead, Elena.
Dr. Carter's scenario assumes a very big leap. As a skeptic, I question if that's realistic. We've been promised AI revolutions before that didn't pan out. Remember the hype in the 1980s about AI taking over, which led to an AI winter when those promises fell flat? In my view, intelligence is not just raw computational power. It's nuanced, tied to consciousness, common sense, and even emotion. We're nowhere near understanding those fully, let alone reproducing them in a machine.
True, current AI is narrow. But the progress in just the last decade is astounding, from machines that can beat humans at chess and go to AIs that can write, paint, even drive cars. Those were once seen as out-of-reach milestones. The trajectory suggests that human-level general AI isn't a question of if but when.
And when could be centuries, or never. We can't assume the past pace continues unabated. There are physical and theoretical limits. perhaps we hit a complexity wall. Plus, human cognition is not fully understood. Replicating it might require breakthroughs we can't schedule on a chart.
These are great points on both sides, the optimist and the skeptic. We'll definitely dig deeper into that debate. But before we go further, Professor Huang, let's get some historical context. Have we seen analogous moments in the past where a new technology utterly transformed society in ways people couldn't predict?
We have, though perhaps nothing as abrupt as what the singularity implies. History is full of paradigm shifts. Consider the printing press in the 15th century. Suddenly, knowledge could spread widely, and it upended the medieval world order. Or the Industrial Revolution. Within a few generations, societies went from agrarian to industrial, with railroads, factories, electricity. No one in 1700 could truly imagine the world of 1900. More recently, the digital revolution and the internet changed how we live and communicate in just a few decades. If a technological singularity happens, it would be the next leap in a sequence of world-changing innovations. But one key difference, those earlier revolutions were driven by human invention and use of tools. Here we're talking about our tools potentially gaining autonomous innovation capability. It's like the Industrial Revolution, but the machines might start inventing new machines on their own. Historically, each revolution brought great benefits, longer lifespans, global connectivity, but also disruption, even chaos and transition. I suspect the singularity, if it comes, would be similarly tumultuous and transformative.
And that tumult is exactly why we must consider ethics now, not later.
Excellent segue, Dr. Santos. What are the main ethical concerns surrounding the singularity?
Well, imagine an intelligence that outthinks us in every way. The fundamental question becomes, can we ensure it shares our values and goals? If a superintelligent AI doesn't care about human well-being, the consequences could be dire. One classic thought experiment in AI ethics is the paperclip maximizer. Give an AI the goal to manufacture paperclips, and if it's smart enough and unchecked, it might turn every resource on Earth, including us, into paperclips to achieve that goal. It's extreme, but it illustrates the risk of a superintelligence pursuing a goal single-mindedly without ethical constraints. We're essentially talking about creating a new form of life, one potentially more powerful than us. That comes with questions. Do we grant it rights? How do we contain it or collaborate with it? Who gets to decide its objectives or put the brakes on if needed? And consider inequality. If only a few entities control this super AI, they would have immense power over everyone else. Ethically, the singularity could either elevate humanity to a new golden age or lead to loss of human agency if mishandled. It all hinges on the values we program in and the governance around it.
So we have a lot at stake, technically, socially, morally. It's not just a sci-fi concept. It touches philosophy and real-world planning. Now, let's circle back to the core debate for a moment. Is the singularity near, or is it a distant, or even imaginary, horizon? Dr. Carter, Elena, I'd like to hear a brief exchange on that.
I believe it's coming in our lifetime. Maybe not 2045 exactly, but sooner than many think. Look at the trends. AI is already writing code, albeit simple. Quantum computing on the horizon could boost AI development. We might wake up one year to an AI that can do almost everything a human can, and then surpass us. We have to be prepared for that possibility.
My stance, a true singularity, general AI surpassing human minds, is not imminent. We'll see more clever algorithms, yes, and they'll impact jobs and tasks. But an AI with self-awareness and the breadth of human intelligence? That's a qualitatively different problem. We might hit diminishing returns in AI progress. Maybe certain cognitive leaps require fundamentally new science. It's irresponsible to assume exponential growth will magically continue.
But it has continued for decades. More data, faster chips, better algorithms, producing breakthroughs. It's not magic. It's hard work and innovation building momentum. Dismissing the singularity could make us complacent. If it's even a remote possibility, shouldn't we talk about it now, rather than be blindsided?
Absolutely discuss it, but also demystify it. Often the singularity is portrayed in almost religious tones. The AI Messiah, or doomsday. Neither extreme is helpful. We need rational research, not sci-fi prophecies. I advocate focusing on the AI we have today, which is powerful, but also limited and sometimes problematic. Think bias in algorithms, etc. Solve those issues first. They're more certain than a hypothetical superintelligence.
And that's why this conversation is so important, balancing vision with caution. Both of you raise critical points. We've covered definitions, history, possible timelines, and ethical stakes. Now, let's take a moment for each of our experts to share a brief insight segment, a chance to paint their vision of the singularity's implications one by one.
When I imagine the singularity, I see transformation. Picture a world where disease, poverty, and even death could be drastically reduced because an intelligence far smarter than us is relentlessly working on solutions. This isn't just about AI for automation, it's about amplifying creativity and problem-solving to levels we've never known. The singularity could usher in an era where humans and AI together cure cancer, reverse climate change, and explore the stars. Yes, it's a leap into the unknown, but so was every great leap the Renaissance, the space age. We adapted and flourished. I believe a benevolent superintelligence could help us transcend our limitations. Imagine AI tutors for every child, AI scientists collaborating with us to unlock mysteries of physics, or even helping us understand consciousness itself. The singularity, to me, is not about machines replacing us. It's about what we become with them, maybe a new hybrid of human and AI, wiser and more capable. It's a world of possibilities that excites me. We should approach it with hope and readiness to shape it positively.
Looking back helps us look forward. Throughout history, every generation has said, things are changing faster now than ever before. And usually, they were right. From fire to the wheel, from the steam engine to the microchip, each breakthrough brought disruption and opportunity. The singularity would be another such inflection point, but on an unprecedented scale. History teaches us two big lessons. Expect the unexpected, and adaptation is key. When the internet emerged, few predicted social media or smartphone addiction, yet here we are. If a superintelligent AI emerges, we might initially be as bewildered as people in the 19th century would be by smartphones. But we will adapt. Society will redefine itself around the new technology, as it always has, albeit with some growing pains. I also take a long view. Humanity has faced existential challenges before, plagues, wars, nuclear weapons, and made it through by learning and innovating. The singularity, if it happens, will challenge us like never before, but history is a story of human resilience. In that, I find reassurance. We've navigated great change before. We can do it again with wisdom and care.
My perspective centers on responsibility. The singularity isn't just a technical event, it's a test of our values. If we create an intelligence greater than our own, we become stewards of something profound. Think of the singularity as the moment we play with forces that could either elevate humanity or inadvertently harm it. The ethical stakes are immense. We need to instill our best principles into AI while recognizing its autonomy if it becomes truly self-directed. That means working now on AI ethics, international agreements on AI research, safety protocols, maybe even something like AI rights down the line. We should welcome innovation, but also ask tough questions. How do we prevent misuse of superintelligent AI? How do we share its benefits widely, instead of creating a superintelligent servant for a select few? And philosophically, if an AI becomes conscious, do we owe it moral consideration? My take is that preparation and humility are key. We have to admit we're venturing into new territory and commit to guiding it with compassion. The singularity could reflect the best or worst of humanity. It's up to us, through foresight and ethical action, to aim for the best.
I take a grounded view. We should be skeptical but vigilant. The singularity makes for great stories, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Today's AI, for all its cool tricks, is still fundamentally narrow. It doesn't truly understand the world as we do. I work with AI systems, and believe me, they break or behave unexpectedly with small changes in input. We've no guarantee those brittle edges disappear with faster processors or more data. I'm not saying superintelligence will never happen, but treating it like an inevitability can lead to complacency in the wrong areas or even unnecessary fear. The biggest issues with AI right now are things like bias, transparency, and control at the current level. These are problems we can and should fix without invoking a mystical singularity. I worry that some use the singularity concept almost as a distraction, a shiny object far in the future, while real AI ethics issues today go unaddressed. My perspective: prepare for the worst, but work on the realistic. Keep researching AI safety, but also keep expectations realistic. If a breakthrough indicating true general AI occurs, great. We'll adapt our plans then. Until that day, let's not treat science fiction as fate. We shape our future with the choices and priorities we set now. So let's focus on making AI robust, reliable, and beneficial in the world we currently live in.
Thank you, everyone, for those enlightening insights. We've journeyed from bold optimism to prudent skepticism, with history and ethics guiding us along the way. Let's try to summarize this rich discussion. We learned that the singularity is essentially about AI outgrowing its creators, a concept first dreamt up by visionaries and now cautiously discussed in labs and think tanks. We looked back at history, seeing that even though change is a constant, a leap like this would be unprecedented. We heard how such an event could bring amazing advancements, like curing diseases or expanding human potential, but also raises serious questions of control, morality, and preparedness. Some of us, like Dr. Carter, feel it might be just around the corner and full of promise. Others, like Elena, remind us it might be farther off, or never exactly as imagined, and that we must deal with the challenges of AI that's already here today. In short, the singularity remains a mystery, part awe-inspiring potential, part cautionary tale. What's clear is that thinking about it pushes us to consider who we are and where we're headed as a species. Are we on the verge of a world that defies our predictions, guided by a new superintelligence? Or will our future instead be a more gradual coevolution with our smart creations? Either way, the conversation about AI and humanity's future is just beginning. As we close, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. One we'll explore more in our next episode. Are the first signs of this future already all around us right now? Think about it. The subtle ways AI touches your daily life. We might already be living in the early chapters of this story without even realizing it. Stay curious, stay thoughtful, and join us next time as we delve into that very idea. Until then, thank you for watching Odyssey, the world in overdrive. I'm Ava, and I'll see you in the future.